On behalf of the Shorewood Women's Club, I'd like to thank you, Mary, for running and for coming today to speak with us. Although the election is uncontested, the Women's Club of Shorewood understands how important it is that residents get to know who is representing them on the boards. Thank you for taking time to answer a few questions. In 2015, we saw a need for a different kind of candidate forum in Shorewood. We partnered with the League of Women Voters in Milwaukee County for a completely independent presentation of candidates for the Village of Shorewood. Since this election is uncontested, the League will not facilitate this forum. Shorewood Women's Club has been a proud supporter of the needs for the Shorewood community. We have supported local public education at all levels. We saw the need for a public library in the 1930s. We took a few shelves of available books and worked to increase the numbers of books for the residents. This led us to open a library in Capitol Drive that is now City Market. Our continuing work goes to support the Shorewood School District through the Seed Foundation, provide a student scholarship at Shorewood High School, and a scholarship at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, which we've done for over 80 years now, and to the FAST Fund, which benefits lower income students who attend MATC. So thank you again for being here. And we're gonna start with questions and then end with a closing statement. We'll have 3 minutes for each response, up to 3 minutes. So Mary, first tell us a little about yourself and the relevant skills that you bring to the role of school board member.
Yes, well, first, thank you very much for having me. I look forward to getting to know all members of the Shorewood community. My name is Mary Theisen. I've lived in Shorewood since 2016. I have 4 kids. The oldest is 11 and my youngest is 3. So the older 3 currently go to Atwater Elementary School. And the youngest will be joining them in a couple of years, which is unbelievable. But I would say, like many parents, I started becoming more aware of the influence of the school board during the COVID pandemic and the shutdown, and listening to meetings and realizing what importance the board has and influence, and they really are able to make policy changes that affect our kids day to day. So I followed over the years, and like many parents, I have a lot of questions. There's a lot of wonderful things about our school that I want to maintain. So that's what brought me here today. I think I'm new at this. I'm not a politician. I'm just someone who feels very strongly about supporting schools and supporting public resources here in Shorewood. So I think what I'm going to bring to this is a really open mind and a very strong drive to increase community engagement here in Shorewood.
Wonderful. So you answered this a little bit, but why did you decide to run for school board? And also tell us briefly what you think the top priorities are for district families right now.
Yes, again, I wanted to run for school board to support the schools, support our community. As we know, the schools are part of everyone in Shorewood, even if you don't have students living in your home. I just feel that public education is a pillar of a great community, and I want to be a part of that. So I'm here really for my kids. Having young kids too, I'm looking for the future, the next 15 years of Shorewood schools. So I want to make sure with some of the issues that we are facing, that we are thinking about what's it going to be like for the families in Shorewood 10 to 15 years in the future. So that brings me to your next question about some of the issues that we are facing. I know a lot of people are aware and concerned about the decreasing enrollment in Shorewood, and this is a pattern we're seeing all over the state, all over the country, with smaller families and lower birth rates, things like that. So I know those are the big questions. What are the projections going to be for Shorewood schools and enrollment? And what are we going to do with these problems with budget that will come with smaller enrollment? It makes me concerned. I know it makes a lot of my peers concerned too about what this means in terms of, are there going to be budgets cuts? I know there's talk about closing schools, reconfiguring schools. What does that mean for families in Shorewood? And what I'm most eager to do is face these challenges head on and really get the community involved in finding solutions that make sense for the most people. And do so in a way that's very transparent to the whole community.
Excellent. So what aspects of our school district are you most proud of and why?
There's so many things. We've been so happy with the schools. First and foremost, our schools are so diverse and so wonderfully, my kids are exposed to so many different families, different backgrounds, and I think it's changed over from my generation to this generation where they think that's more normal. And I really like that. They have students who are, English as a second language, students right next to them in class, and meeting kids from different countries. I love the diversity here in Shorewood. I also love there's wonderful, wonderful teachers that we've made incredible relationships with over the years. They come to events outside of school. They send notes and let me know how, when they see my kids in the hallway, even if they're not in their class anymore. Those kind of connections I don't think every school district has. It's something that's very special here in Shorewood. Other things I love and proud of. Something we looked for when we decided to move and move our family was to find a district that had really high academic achievement as well. We know Shorewood's always had a tradition of excellence, always rated very high in the school districts in the area. So we've been very happy to have all these different facets right here in the Shorewood School District.
Excellent. Okay, at a time when federal and state funding is lagging costs in district enrollment, and our district enrollment is down, please share your thoughts on district financial management and sustainability, including the possibility of school realignment and the closing of a building and/or future referendums.
Mm-hmm. As I mentioned, that will be definitely the big issues coming in the next few years. And it makes me nervous as a parent, as a community member. So first, referendums. We recently passed both, two referendums since we moved here. Operational referendums, I'm not surprised that the Shorewood community votes yes on these. We have such the Shorewood population wants to support the schools. And if you look across Wisconsin, most school districts are going that way, where they're seeing budget issues and they're gonna seek out those answers with higher taxpayer burden. I just worry it's not a long-term solution and it's gonna continue to put our residents in a tough spot. Keep having to bail out the school district. I think I will have to come into this with a lot of questions and really eager to learn, because this will be an area that's going to be very new to me, frankly. But I think I'm coming in, as most Shorewood residents are, where we don't really know what goes on with the budgets of the school. We feel like we're not getting a lot of answers. And I hope one thing I can do is to increase the transparency with our budgeting to all community members, and then get their input about what's the most important things to them. If we are facing cuts, what programs do we have to prioritize over others?
Okay, thank you. So here's another. In your opinion, how well is a district currently serving the needs of a diverse set of learners, from special education to students at grade level to advanced learners, so the whole spectrum? And what do you see as the opportunities and challenges for the future?
Most of my views on the school start in Atwater, so in the elementary school level. One of our children do have an IEP and has worked with the special education department, and we've been very happy. Great staff, wonderful teachers, very supportive. She comes to school with some physical disabilities, and she's always been very well included. So we've been overall very happy. I do think academically they're meeting needs across from special ed to also advanced learning. There's many opportunities, even in elementary school, for advanced learning. I do know there are some concerns in the higher grades about, are we appropriately challenging kids? Maybe we might have advanced classes, but are we also meeting the students in the middle and giving them appropriate challenges so they can meet, their best potential? In terms of other inclusions, I have heard through friends and around town there's concern about groups of students not feeling included. Some bullying that may be based on, stereotypes and jokes that maybe children don't understand. And I know there are some concerns that the school doesn't always hear those stories and do enough about them. And so that's a part of inclusion we need to make sure we address as well, that we're stopping that kind of behavior right away. Teaching kids what inclusion means and making sure, again, just putting a stop to those kind of actions.
Okay, in light of dismantling of the Department of Education and the rollback of DEI, are you concerned about the future of federal funding, changing educational priorities, government mandates, and interference in the district's policies and priorities that may not be in line with the community's core values?
Yes, I'm very concerned, very concerned. It's very sad to me to read the newspaper, this fight over DEI. Sometimes it just seems as though we're losing some kindness in the world, some reaching out across differences. So I'm very concerned about that. I'm very concerned that the federal government is making decisions that are very short-sighted and not really fixing any problems. That's something that drove me to run, because I do worry about the future of public education here in Shorewood. I think what I love about Shorewood is that it's a very community-focused group of people, and we want to welcome all different backgrounds and different cultures and people here at Shorewood, and we really do celebrate that. I don't think that value will be taken away by the federal government. I do worry about individuals' feelings of safety here in Shorewood because of some of the things that are trickling down. It's a sad time, honestly. It bothers me. It really bothers me. And I hope that we can do our best to protect children, to make sure they feel safe in all of our spaces.
Yeah. Well, here's the last question. Communication between the board and residents is important. Mm-hmm. What is the board currently doing well, and is there work to be done?
I think there's a lot of work to be done. Mm-hmm. I think our current structure does not always welcome a lot of discussion during board meetings. I can't really pinpoint why. There is definitely, multiple times for public comment. I know the school board members are all very accessible via email or even in person or around town, which is great. But I do think there needs to be more outreach. And I think people need to be invited, encouraged to come to the public meetings and share what they think about what's going on, share their ideas. I hope that we can do more casual meetups within the community. I hope we can do more reaching out when we have important meetings, important decisions coming up. I hope that we can advertise that we're doing that so people know that these decisions are being made. It surprises me sometimes how often parents don't know that something is on an agenda, and it's not for lack of trying, they just don't always know the right avenues to find that information. Mm-hmm. So I want to increase the amount of communication with all Shorewood residents. I think that's very important. And for me, that's something I always strive for, is this idea of engagement. And what does that really mean? And that's bi-directional communication between the residents and the school board. It should always be a partnership between those two entities.
Thank you. So that's all I have. So I welcome you if you have any closing words you want to share with us.
No, I think we covered a lot today. I really appreciate talking and learning more about some of the concerns that I'm sure you've heard about too. Mm-hmm. So I really appreciate having this forum to meet with you today.
Well, we appreciate having you, and thanks so much, and thank you for running.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks.